My wife and I were really struggling financially, and we moved in with my mom to help us get back on our feet. I know it hasn't been easy for her, but I just can't believe what she did. My stepsister's getting married and wouldn't invite my mom, as she and her siblings hate her. My stepfather refused to attend without my mom, and it was a whole big thing. I think his kids thought he was going to cave because he was always a pushover with them, but he meant it and didn't go to the wedding. I'm sure it hurt him, but he comes from a pretty toxic patriarchal culture, and he isn't going to show his emotions openly. My wife was upset on the day of the wedding, as she believes kids should always come before your spouse, and that his behavior is disgusting. I don't disagree, but it also isn't our business. My wife took pictures of him on the wedding day to show my stepsister that he wasn't sad enough. He was just hanging with my mom, and in one of the pictures he's laughing, but I find this extremely uncomfortable for a few reasons. Spying on people and taking pictures of them in their homes is creepy and invasive. They aren't even properly dressed in some of them, so it's just weird. Also, we're guests in their homes. Well, his daughter sent him the picture she got from my wife and said she was glad he had his witch to comfort him. He realized what my wife had done and blew up. He called us ungrateful leeches, called her a witch, and threw our clothes all over his lawn. I'm furious. Living with them was such a great opportunity to rebuild financially, and she just ruined it. I lost it and shouted last night that it's all her fault, and what the heck did she think was going to happen? She's furious and says I had no right to speak to her like that, regardless of what she did. Am I the idiot? Edit. My wife claims she took the pictures in the sauna in their bedroom, so that means she was literally spying. She just wanted his kids to see that he isn't as good of a father as he pretends to be because he always puts my mom first. My stepsister seemed to think he was at home crying, so my wife wanted to prove he wasn't. This doesn't even make sense to me, as not everyone shows their feelings outwardly, and he did seem sad that day. I mean, my wife lightly stalks her boss's girlfriend, but absolutely nothing like this has ever happened. So your wife spied on your parents, waited until she could catch them in an unflattering moment, took their pics without consent, and then sent the pics to someone to feed their rage? Your wife is an idiot. I'm just curious what she thought the outcome was going to be. What did she have to gain from it, other than causing drama and issues within the family dynamic? How the heck is any of this your wife's business? It wouldn't even be her business if she were the full sibling, let alone their step-sibling spouse. I just can't even fathom involving myself in someone else's family business like this, especially when the family members I'm ranging myself against are giving me house space. Some people don't have the self-preservation instincts of a toxoplasmosis-stricken rat, and your wife appears to be one of those. I'm just gobsmacked at how petty, malicious, arrogant, and nosy his wife is. Who does stuff like that? Especially with consequences hanging over your head daily. Creeping around someone in their home, the place they should feel safe, the place they're letting you live for free to get back on your feet. Taking pictures of them to involve yourself in a battle that's not yours and no one invited you to. That's beyond messed up. Some people create chaos just because. Others are crap stirrers who enjoy causing trouble. I don't get it either. Dude, break up with her and beg your mom and stepdad. Apologize profusely. Move back in with your folks and let her figure it out. That's probably not the first or last time she'll alienate people trying to help her. I seriously doubt this malicious woman learned anything. She sounds exhausting and entitled. She deserves everything that happens to her from this invasion of privacy and malicious pot stirring. I feel like this is so insane. I'm sorry. Our relationship is normally pretty low drama, so this was left field. I've been wanting to bleach my eyebrows for a while. I told my boyfriend this and he said he didn't want me to because he didn't like the look. The thing is, he prefers me with short hair. I have long hair right now. I prefer him with long hair, and he has short hair right now. It's not the end of the world. So I figured this could be the same way since it's not like it's permanent. I told him I'd probably get it done anyway, and if it looks bad, he can make fun of me all he wants. He said that if I did that, he'd bleach his brows, but I didn't really care. Anyway, I bleached them, and I really like how they look. He doesn't like how it looks, which I knew was an option, but it upset him. Like he said, "I can't believe you did it." And then he literally got in his car and left. Then when I texted him, I got a late response, hours later. "I can't talk to you right now." The next time we met, we just yelled at each other. When things are starting to cool down, he tells me that maybe he should bleach his hair so we're even. I didn't even think there was anything to get even about, but I thought he might look good with bleached hair. And I also thought he was just suggesting it on some level because he already wanted to. He did it. I like it on him, but he hates it. He says I put him in this situation with the eyebrows thing and then hyped him to do it when I should have known he was doing it for a petty reason. I feel like if I'm the idiot here, it's because I didn't take him seriously. Like, I didn't think he was totally doing it to get even. I don't know anyone else who'd dye their hair just to borderline spite someone else. Like, I feel bad, but I also feel like it's not really my fault here. Edit. I'm 18 and he's 23. You're right, it is insane. You're not responsible for him dyeing his hair. It was his choice to go ahead and do it. If you said he should wear a dress and makeup, would he do it? No. If he wants to be spiteful and petty, that's his problem. You can do whatever you want to yourself, and he doesn't have to like it. I would tell him to just drop the subject and not talk about it anymore. He's seriously acting like she forced him to do it. What did he think was going to happen? I'm gonna bleach my hair for no other reason than pettiness. Oh my God, my hair is bleached. Look what you made me do. You're a big fat meanie head. I'm telling, it's your fault. What a giant child. You are the idiot if you stay with him. He's 23 and you're 18. There's a reason someone this immature is dating someone your age. A 5-year age difference in your 30s or 40s, etc. is not that big a deal, but at your age it really is. He yelled at you for bleaching your eyebrows. Then he had to bleach his entire head and yelled at you again? This is ridiculous. Please think long and hard about if you want a tit-for-tat type of relationship. Now is when you should think about what you want in a partner and how you want relationships. The communication on both sides is not great either. Good luck. My 42 female, brother 39, has a live-in housekeeper, Vivian. I believe the girl is 18 or 19. In our country, and particularly our city, housekeepers are in very high demand, especially those from the same region of our country as Vivian, because they have the best food in the country. My brother got divorced a year ago and got very depressed, so I advised him to hire a housekeeper to help him maintain his daily task. She also helps him by babysitting his 2 daughters during custody time when he's at work. I went grocery shopping a few weeks ago with my brother, and he picked up a box of chocolates and some flowers for Vivian. He told me she was sick, and I thought it was very sweet of him. However, my nieces, my brother's daughters, told me that their father always hits on Vivian when she's working, and he buys her expensive gifts. Then yesterday, he made an offhanded comment about her body when she was bringing some food to the table when I went to his home to have lunch with him. She laughed awkwardly and excused herself. I asked him what he was doing, and he said he was attracted to her. I told him that his behavior with her was inappropriate, as he was her employer, and he should let her go if he couldn't behave. When he hired her, her agency said that many other families wanted her because of her resume, so she would not be left jobless. I told him that she deserves to have a safe workplace. He was very upset and said I was treating him like a creep and that it wasn't my business. I left after this and he called me demanding an apology. I feel like I may have overstepped since he told me Vivian has not complained herself. I feel very bad now, and I was wondering if I am an idiot. Not the idiot. You did the right thing here. Vivian is young and might not be comfortable complaining to him. Just because she hasn't doesn't make his behavior appropriate. And since his daughters have also noticed it, it becomes even more of a situation. Likely she won't speak up. Many women in this situation suffer in silence because they can't have a gap in pay, and others just find another job and bounce. Very few speak up because they don't want escalation. She has a voice and she'll complain if she's uncomfortable. You don't know anything about their dynamic, and it really isn't any part of your business. If she's really that much in demand, Nothing's stopping her from leaving if she's uncomfortable with it. Mind your own business. She doesn't need you to save her. You are the idiot. The housekeeper is a grown woman. She's not worried about getting kicked out. She's worried that her employer, with whom she lives, will not take no well and get angry. Angry men are scary and unpredictable. He could harm her, damage her stuff, or worse. She's a live-in. She's got nowhere to go in the short term, and just leaving in the middle of the night would mess up the kids and screw her over in terms of last paycheck and a reference. I swear, someone should start an agency that not only finds employees to work in the home, but screen the employers and assist said employees with emergency move-outs when things get creepy for the employee, complete with large, scary-looking movers to silently intimidate creepy employers. Not the idiot for speaking up, and you wouldn't be out of line to offer help in moving or quitting if she wants. Vivian, you in danger, girl. Sit her down and tell her this. People who say if Vivian felt uncomfortable, she would just leave, do not get it. Vivian is a literal teenager. She may feel intimidated. She may not realize there are other potential employers. Heck, teenagers are used to obeying authority figures, and your brother is an authority figure. OP, you need to sit this girl down and tell her, in no uncertain terms, that if she does feel uncomfortable around your brother, there are plenty of other opportunities for a girl like her. Frankly, it's the only decent thing to do. Here's some background about me. I'm Asian American, and in my culture, it's common for people who know the family or are friends of the family or friends of friends to invite themselves to weddings. That's been my experience. However, my partner and I aren't comfortable with this tradition, so for our wedding, we decided to send out invitation cards only to friends and family we know to prevent random guests from showing up. We also hired a guest list coordinator to ensure that only those with invitation cards could attend. From my perspective, I've seen people or family who clearly don't know the bride and groom just show up for the food. They would only arrive when the food was served, take as much as they could fit into containers, and leave before the event was over. If there was alcohol, wine, or beer, they would take those too. I found this behavior really disrespectful. On the wedding day, everything went smoothly until one of the staff members informed me that there was a commotion outside and that my cousin wanted to speak with me. It turned out that my cousin's family had invited their friends. I explained to my cousin that our guest list coordinator was doing their job and that if their friends hadn't received an invitation, they couldn't be admitted. My cousin's family and their friends argued with me about why they needed an invitation, claiming it was tradition, so I should let them in. I stood my ground and asked, "Is this my wedding or yours?" I also told them that if they couldn't respect how the wedding was planned, then they weren't welcome. In the end, they gave up and didn't attend. The wedding went well, and I put the incident behind me. Now, a week later, my cousin is bad-mouthing me for not letting their friends in and accusing me of being westernized, whatever that means. This situation has escalated to the point where our elders have intervened, telling us we were wrong for not admitting them. My wife and I are frustrated and unsure if we were in the wrong or not. Edit. I forgot to add that I made sure to let the friends and family know what we were doing, only letting people we invited to the wedding, and to make sure they brought the invitation card with them so they could be let in. Not the idiot. Certain cultural traditions are simply stupid. For example, arranged marriages where two folks who've never even met are married. With all due respect, a tradition wherein strangers can come in and carry away all the food and drink similarly qualifies as stupid. There are plenty of rich traditions that we Westerners might consider a bit odd, but hardly stupid. This situation ain't one of them. Who brings containers to a wedding? This tradition of letting any Tom, Dick, or Harry into a wedding, only to have them make off with the food and drink, is ridiculous and wasteful. They're taking food and drinks from legitimate guests, and I don't blame you a bit for refusing to have those kind of shenanigans at your wedding. Asian American here. That is the most annoying thing about Asian weddings. Everyone and their mother will attend. People who you haven't seen or spoken to in years suddenly appear with their whole crew. You have every right to do what you did. I'm glad you stood your ground. I suspect you might get a different answer if you were asking this specifically to people in your family's culture rather than an international English-speaking audience. But to that, I say it's too late. The elders can complain all they want now. The wedding is over. Let them. I'm a teen male, the oldest of 4 kids. My siblings are a tween, a pre-tween, and a preschooler. My parents both work full-time, and since my mom got promoted last year, she works longer hours now. This means a lot of the household responsibilities and taking care of my siblings fall on me after school and on weekends. I get my siblings from school, help with their homework, cook dinner, and sometimes put them to bed if my parents are late. I don't mind helping out, but it's gotten to the point where I barely have any time for myself or my friends. I'm also starting high school this year, and I have a lot of homework and extracurriculars that I need to focus on. Last weekend, I had plans to go to a friend's birthday party. I told my parents about it weeks in advance, and they said it was fine. But the night before the party, my mom told me she had to work late on Saturday and that I needed to watch my siblings. I was upset and told her I had plans, but she said family comes first and I should be responsible. I ended up missing the party and I was furious about it. Later that night, when my parents got home, I told them that they should have thought twice before having more kids if they couldn't handle taking care of them without relying on me all the time. My dad got mad and said I was being disrespectful and selfish. My mom looked hurt and told me I didn't understand how hard it is to balance work and family. Now things are tense at home and I feel guilty for what I said. I know my parents are doing their best, but I also feel like I'm missing out on my life because of all the responsibilities I have. Am I the idiot for saying what I did? My mom looked hurt and told me I don't understand how hard it is to balance work and family. Maybe your mom should try balancing work and family then. Not the idiot. You're supposed to be a child and be able to have a childhood, not quickly become a little adult they get to use for their whims, especially when they already approved your attendance at the party. People don't understand that this is a form of abuse. Of course, it's great to instill a sense of responsibility by giving you chores or being able to rely on you in situations where you have to watch your siblings. But I've seen too many instances where the eldest child becomes the third adult, which leads to issues in the future. They should have hired a babysitter and let you go to the party. My advice? Get a job and start saving up now so you can move out as soon as you can. I have no patience for parents who use their children because they don't have the foresight or ability to pay for a babysitter. Also, do not tell them how much you make. If they flat out ask, say minimum wage. Most jobs are direct deposit, so you don't have a check they can find. A lot of parents who rely on their kids like this will immediately start asking for rent, for bills, or food until they move out. It's a parent's responsibility to take care of you, legally until you turn 18. However, it's not illegal for them to demand money, but it is a crappy thing to do. 9 times out of 10, parents who rely on their older kids to be the third adult will ask for money. Good luck.